Hey family, welcome back to the channel. I am Keeney. And today, in light of Black History Month, I want to talk about a remarkable woman, Miss Barbara Elaine Smith. We all know her by B. Smith. Some of you may remember Miss B. Smith. She was in the news here about a year ago where she has Alzheimer's, and her husband Dan had his living girlfriend, and they were showing B clearly, with Alzheimer's, and this woman is living in a house with her husband, and they're supposedly taking care of her. But a lot of people didn't like that. It didn't sit well with a lot of people, and he caught a lot of flack with it. And I can honestly say, my mother had complications of Alzheimer's, and eventually died from those complications. And I can honestly say I just could not agree with Dan bringing a woman into his house, his mistress, his lover, whatever, into the house, and taking care of this woman, whether she was B. Smith or any other everyday woman. It just did not seem right. Even though he has his life, he's still a viable young man or whatever. He still had his life. Still, you don't bring another woman into your house and take care of your wife. That's just crazy. But that's what he did, and he got away with it. So hey, whatever. But I want to talk a little bit about Miss B. Smith, because I just remember growing up watching her on TV, and I can appreciate it more now than I could then, because I can remember watching her lifestyle TV. And Miss B. Smith was one of those ladies who did it all. She did it all. She came before Martha Stewart. She came before all these other people that's branding lifestyles and everything. She was the first to do it. When we say lifestyle, home, cooking, and clothing lines and all of this stuff, this lady did it all. And I just want to give a tribute to her, because she was one remarkable woman. So let's get into a little information about her. She was born Barbara Elaine Smith, August 24th, 1949, in Everson, Pennsylvania. She died February 22nd, 2020, at the age of 70 in Long Island, New York. Her education, she went to Southmoreland High School. She was a restaurateur. She was a model, an author, television host, businesswoman, and she actually made a few appearances in some movies and TV as well. She was active really from the years of 1973 up until 2015. She is best known to be the first African American model featured on Mademoiselle magazine back in 1976. Her first marriage was to Donald Anderson, and she didn't stay married to him for very long. She was married to him from 1986 to 1990, and then she married Dan Gatsby in 1992. And my understanding, she met Dan Gatsby, I think, on the set of her show, and he was her cameraman or something like that. But that's how they met. She had her own style of cooking. She called it Global Electric with Southern influences. So yeah, she had a few restaurants. Yeah, she owned I think one was in Union Station, Restaurant Row, and Sag Harbor. So she was a heavy hitter in entertainment and history and lifestyle and all of these things. So you know, it's sad to see her go out the way that she did. But we all have to leave at some time, but Miss B. Smith was really one remarkable woman. So let's see. It says here that in the mid 1960s, Smith began her career in modeling, participating in the Ebony Fashion Fair, and later signing with the Wilhelmina Models Agency, so she was good. Smith was the first African American model to be featured on the cover of Mademoiselle magazine in 1976. Smith made two appearances on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, once as a model for Queen Sarah's wedding dress, and once giving a tour of her restaurant, B. Smith, and making raspberry custard with Fred Rogers and her head chef, Henry. During the episode, she taught child viewers about the importance of washing hands and shared the excitement of using huge bowls and mixers. She said her dream was to feed people, which began at an early age when she fed her dolls. Her weekly half-hour syndicated television show, B. Smith with Style, debuted in 1997 and also aired weekdays on BTN and Bounce TV. It featured home decor and cooking segments. Smith appeared as herself on Prelude to a Kiss, a 1999 episode of the sitcom Sabrina the Teenage Witch, in which Aunt Hilda summons her in order to teach a group of unruly pirates to keep house. Smith accepted the role in the off-Broadway play Love, Less, and What I Wore for an April 27th through May 29, 2011 run with Conchata Ferro, Anna Lynn McCord, Ann Miera, and Minka Kelly. Smith owned multiple restaurants called B. Smith. The first opened in 1986 on 8th Avenue at 47th Street in New York, and several years later moved around the corner to Restaurant Row on 46th Street, followed by another one in Sag Harbor, Long Island, in New York. She owned a restaurant in the historic Beaux Arts Union Station in Washington, D.C., and in September 2013, it was reported that the restaurant would close. In 2014, the Sag Harbor restaurant was shuttered, followed by the Manhattan location in January 2015. Smith's interest in decor and restaurant design led to the development of her first home collection, which debuted at Bed Bath & Beyond in the spring of 2001. She also launched a line of serveware in 2004. In spring 2007, Smith debuted her first furniture collection with the Lazy Boy Company, Clayton Marcus. B. Smith also authored 3 books concentrated on recipes and presentation. B. Smith's Entertaining and Cooking for Friends in 1995, B. Smith's Ritual and Celebrations 1999, and B. Smith's Cook Southern Style in 2009. Smith and her husband released Before I Forget in early 2016, detailing their journey following her diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's. The book was written with her husband Dan Gaspy and Vanity Fair contributing editor Michael Schneerson. So there you have it. That's a little bit information about Miss B. Smith. B. Smith will never be forgotten, As long as we are talking about Miss B. Smith, she will live on with us. And I just want to say my condolences to the family. Rest in peace. And maybe Dan Gaspy can be happy now and live his life. I know that is so wrong. That is so wrong. But B was so well loved. And I think, in light of his, still wanted to live his life. I need to be fair, but I did love B. Smith. So rest in peace to Miss B. Smith. Until next time.